So unusual comparison this time, so not that much of a riding video, but a debatable, of course, not very apple to apple of a comparison, but a pretty much precise comparison. And let's start the comparison like this. So as you saw, that BMW 1200 whatever model, which to me seemed to be a boxer engine, but it doesn't matter that much, with a side swing arm, rear side swing arm, left swing arm, like some Cannondale's bicycles have, or the Ducatis used to have until 2025 model. Anyways, why I want to compare a bike like that, a motorcycle like that, with a bicycle like this one, and where I can see the similarities, and why I think there are a lot of similarities between a motorcycle and the bicycle, even though the differences are infinite. So the similarities are based on the ability to use that vehicle, that motorcycle, aka this bicycle, in the environment where of course I feel now, or where I am now, where I was yesterday, last month, because that motorcycle there is there for, I don't know, a lot of time. And this place, I mean, is the town, the Bucharest town, which is a flat town, or a town on the flat ground. The difference between minimum and maximum elevation maybe is maximum 100 meters, if not even less, like 50 meters elevation between the lowest and the highest altitude. So basically it's almost flat. And with this thing in mind, on a flat ground in a town, maybe you can ask yourself, so nice, the cat lover. So in a town on flat, maybe you ask yourself, which is what is a good bicycle, what is a good motorcycle. As I already presented a video which I will recommend at the end of this one. The so-called, in my opinion, bike good for a town like this was a 4-cross, aka a aggressive dirt jumper with 160mm fork, so a medium to big fork, and being a hardtail, no rear suspension, not that carbon fancy stuff, you know, so basically it can be cheap because in town you don't count on performance that much between one intersection to the other one. So basically the bike, in my opinion, need to accelerate somehow fast or faster than a 29-inch wheel. It needs to somehow turn good enough. It needs somehow to be a roll somehow good, not best. Like we know that 29-inch wheel, after you put them into the motion, they keep the momentum really good. So we don't need the best rolling capacities, but good enough, you know. If we talk about the leaning, so the agility, of course 26 is awesome. 160mm fork is more than you will ever need if you don't drop the bike, if you don't do stairs, jumps, skate park stuff or whatever. So it's more than enough even to hit obstacles like 30-40 centimeters like this one. You can do that very easily. Old school, if you ask me. So you basically hop the bike, not just pump the front, and after you touch with the front wheel you climb with the back. So basically you can jump 40 centimeters very easy on a 26-inch dirt bike. Aggressive with 164 more so. You can do some wheelies. You can stay low to the ground, so you can play under the mirrors of the cars, not above them but below. Of course, if you want to play above them, you can just raise the handlebar and then you can avoid them from the air. But anyways, these are essentials in my opinion if you want a balanced bike for a city like Bucharest on the flat ground. Busy city, you know, traffic. As you can see, I'm not riding on the street right now, so maybe doing some slaloms, maybe doing some jumps, maybe doing whatever. So that's a good bike. Between the bike I recommended you and I will show you again at the end of this video for those who did not watch that. Maybe it's a good beginning, but between that bike and this bike, an Enduro 27.5, or even being able to fit 29-inch wheel, even though I'm riding 26-inch wheel, so basically a Enduro hardtail which can do basically whatever. The differences are total. So even though we don't pay attention to details, for the sake of the comparison and the similarities between this bike and that bike, completely different bikes. But let's assume that, at least compared to a downhill full suspension or a road bike or a gravel bike or a hybrid 20-inch wheel bike with suspension or without suspension, which you usually spend time in the street most of the times. You don't jump that much with those skinny tires. You don't hit very hard, even though you can. There are bigger differences, so that's why I say this 27.5 Enduro is very close to the 4-cross aggressive dirt jumper or aggressive hardtail, but with small wheels. Now back to the motorcycles. Why I say a which is crazy, by the way, but anyways, so the motorcycles are not for the town. All right, for that we use, or those who use scooters, so no motorcycles. And it is obvious, a motorcycle is heavier, it have more parts which of course wear down. For example, 4 pistons or even more complex suspension, whatever. So basically it's more economical and faster in general to just use a cheaper scooter, lighter, cheaper scooter. For those who use motorcycles, as you saw there was the blue and black motorcycle in the second view from the back. It was a Phaser 600 centimeters Yamaha, which basically is a Yamaha R6 modified, less towards racing capacity and more towards, you know, town or other road application, daily or traveling, things like this. So yeah, that's, let's say, a good motorcycle, that Phaser 600 cc's Yamaha. It's a good all-around bike. With this yellow BMW K1200, of course, is a different story, and that's the reason why I say this bike is a good bike, even though it's an enduro, compared to a hardtail dirt jumper or compared to whatever. And this reason is because we don't need 164. For example, if you have 140, 130, 120, that's still good, that's still enough for almost any hardtail, for a hybrid bike, for a gravel bike with suspension, so basically the same hybrid bike, for a cross country 27, 29, it doesn't matter. So you can do the job with 100 or 120 millimeters very, very good. So you don't need that much of a capacity, exactly like for motorcycle engines. You can be pretty good with 600 and not a big motorcycle like these gentlemen have here. But if you want just enough, or if you like to have enough, or from time to time you go outside with that BMW 1200 beast with a lot of power, with enough torque, with comfort, because it's a big bike, it's a comfortable bike. The handlebar, if you watch again, are a bit upwards, so you don't stay in a racing position, chunked down below there, crunched on the bike, so you are staying somehow upright, comfy, with enough wind protection and whatever from factory. That windshield being very generous, and whatever. So basically that bike is comfortable, is more than you need. But if you want to just open the throttle or to cruise, it does the job even better than if you'd have, for example, only 600 cc, so basically half of the engine displacement. Exactly like this fork. So if I have a 80mm fork, or even less, which is the RockShox Paragon with 65mm fork, that's enough to do the job. Let's see what fork this gentleman have here. I think it have a Paragon. Yep, not, but something similar. So 60mm fork are enough and are half of my fork. Of course, another similarity between this bike and that motorcycle is in a town like Bucharest. If you go on a Ducati, your entire body is cooking between the red lights, because it have no heat dissipation, or it is not good with heat dissipation. If you ride a Yamaha R6 in the town, as those in the business claim, it is awesome on the racetrack, but in the town, your back, or on the street, your back hurts a lot. So again, in a town, maybe an R6 is less capable than that big BMW. That's my comparison between a bike like this and a motorcycle like that, which in my opinion, that motorcycle seems good in general, all around, touring, city, a bit of highway twisties, open throttle, but the Super Sport is good at only one thing. In the same way, this bicycle is a very good all-around, more than you need, yet easy to maintain, like a scooter, being a hardtail, not a full suspension, which have a lot of advantages, multiple advantages, taking in consideration the agility on 26-inch wheel, or with this aggressive geometry hardtail, and in my opinion, a go-to bike for those who you know, maybe have 1-2 bikes, but not 10, you know, for 10 different applications, or even more, 20 bikes, who knows. Or an e-bike, let's say like this, an e-bike, you know, a bit faster. It helps you to accelerate until 25 if you unlock the power for 50. No problem, you will change very often the battery. That brings extra wear. Hardtail e-bikes are not that good, even though I like more an e-bike hardtail. So it is not near economical, it is not near light to use it, to bring it in the home, in the town. So it have more advantages, but as many disadvantages as that. But if you got the idea, and if I missed something, I have a fork like that on white. It's the Boss DeVille 160. Like, yeah, but I wouldn't ride full suspension in town. It consumes a lot of my energy. It brings the wear on the bearings, not into the cheap side of the maintenance, even as intervals, even as costs. See. So that's why I say a oversized fork on a downsized as capability of a frame, hardtail frame, which is less capable than a suspension, a full suspension, but is tough enough to resist to shocks or to inputs if the things go a bit rougher or more extreme than a fragile road bike is, in my opinion, apparently too much, but is very good. Or as me, as a non-motorcycle, I'm looking to that bike, which is 1200 cc's. Oh, big bike. At least that is comfortable. It is yet very powerful, more than enough. It is agile. It is also beautiful. So somehow intimidating at the first glance, which is of course cool to have a bicycle that looks mean, even though is not mean but completely useless in its environment. Like I said, in this town, if we compare the same thing for I don't know what mountain city or environment, things change completely, and the whole debate can't apply because it have no similarities, even though they are forced, like you understood. Peace out.